All right, guys, here we are entering the spring, and it is turning into fishing time for a lot of people. So we came by Anglers Anonymous, and we got JP Saucedo, who works pretty much all day long on the reels. JP? All right, so let's have a conversation here. We're going into the spring. A lot of people don't necessarily fish every week like I do, or every day like guides do. If you're going into the spring, reel maintenance becomes number one priority. Let's start there. Why is it spring's a perfect time to do it?
A lot of people aren't really fishing as much. People are just going to get back into it during the summertime. Definitely want to keep your reels in check whenever you go out there. Say you go once in a week or so. You want to make sure your reel's in top condition.
What are some of the things that can happen to a reel when it's sitting for a while?
Reel gets locked up. You go on a trip and say you don't clean it for a while. You want to go out there next trip. You won't be able to cast it. Won't be able to perform the way you want it to.
Now, what is locked up? Explain that for the novices. Like, what happens inside the reel?
All the salt water and stuff, all the corrosion gets in the gears, gets in the bearings, and reels don't want to turn.
Yeah. Now, another thing about we were talking about before we turned this on was reel maintenance. And a lot of people put their rod holders in their garage, leave them in there all spring, all summer. That may not be the best thing to do, huh?
Yeah. Definitely keep out the elements. Keep them in your closet, in your storage room or something. Keep them out of the elements.
The garage can get, what, 110, 120
especially
degrees?
in the summertime, it does a lot of wear and tear on that grease and lube. So, and even on your line as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the next thing I was going to ask you. Like, some people like to keep their line on the reel a long time, get it nice and easy and soft and kind of broken in. Is there a sweet spot there?
There's a break-in period, but yeah, if you want to preserving your line by keeping them out of the garage will definitely help.
That'll extend the life.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now smaller reels, spinning reels, and smaller, like let's say a Shimano Tranx or something. Do they require more maintenance because they're used more often in the base systems than bigger reels, or is it vice versa?
Specifically the Tranx, they're pretty heavy duty. They are pretty bulletproof, but you do got to take care of them.
Like what? What's a regular upkeep?
Just bring them in every half a dozen trips or so, just to make sure they're working well. That way, a lot of people just want to bring their reels in whenever they have a problem. That's when they're going to spend the most money.
Yeah. Now, what do we do on a day-to-day basis? I go fishing 2-3 times. Well, usually once a week for 2 or 3 days. What's my regular maintenance? What should I be doing?
Just after you're done with your trip, just like some reel wash or something with a little rag, wipe it down, make sure all the salt's out of it. Put a couple drops on the bearings, and you should be good to go for your next
trip. Now, reel wash is the real deal. People say, "Oh, it's just Windex." It's not, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, so what about it that works?
It's just all the ammonia and stuff like that. You spray it on there, you wipe it off, gets all that salt off of there. You don't have any corrosion on your frame. Just drying it off is the main part. Getting all that salt water off.
Now, the other thing that I've told people for years, and I'm wondering if I'm right or wrong, a lot of people spray their reels after use, like with a fast, sometimes even power wash, but with like a sprayer. That's a no-no, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. Spraying it with like high volume water is just going to push all that grease and stuff out of there. It is going to put some wear and tear.
You think you're doing well, but you're not.
No, sir.
Yeah. All right. So you guys here at Anglers Anonymous, obviously, I always recommend people come down here and get their reels repaired. Before we let you go, might as well give a shout out to Anglers Anonymous. What do you guys do on a regular basis? And you turn them around pretty quickly, correct?
Yes, sir. Right now we're running about 2 or 3 weeks or so, which is pretty good. Around the summertime we get probably 4 weeks.
And you can do everything?
Yes, sir. Tear it down, put it in the ultrasonic, lube it up, grease it, put it back together, make sure it's working right.
Good deal. That's JP Saucedo at Anglers Anonymous. Don't forget to adhere to all those tips, and also don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and subscribe to this YouTube channel.